Hello everyone, I Jhalak Patel, Assistant Professor at Alger Institute of Engineering and Technology in the Department of Electronics and Communication. Welcomes you to the session of wireless communication. Today I am going to discuss about Unit 4, that is multiple access techniques, with topic FDMA and TDMA. So let's start the session. First of all, why multiple access is necessary, or what do you mean by multiple access? So in the multiple access means overall, first let me discuss about the overview of the chapter and then we start with the common questions related to multiple access. So in this chapter, first of all we see that what is multiple access and why it is needed. Then we classify the different multiple access techniques, that are FDMA means frequency division multiple access, TDMA means time division multiple access, and CDMA means code division multiple access. Then we discuss about the various advantages and disadvantages of particular access techniques and how it is advantageous compared to the other one, or what are the limitations of that particular CDMA and TDMA over the FDMA and vice versa. Then we discuss about the OFDM technique, orthogonal frequency division multiplexing, and the some common terms that are used in multiple access related to terminals, that are hidden terminal or exposed terminal. So this is chapter number 4. So let's start with why we need multiple access. So as we all know, in the unit number 2 we have discussed that the common band is divided into the common frequency band is divided into the number of channels. So we can easily say that radio frequency is a shared medium in which various frequency bands are divided and user can use it accordingly. So this is why we need multiple access, so that the particular user can use that channel for many times. Means one radio band but same set of channels that can be used by multiple users. By using this multiple access, the resource wastage is reduces because the same set of channels are used by multiple users. For example, if 20 to 40 megahertz is allotted to user 1, then when user 1 is free, then user 2 can also access that particular 20 to 40 megahertz range of band. So this is multiple access technique. It can be either fixed or dynamic type. In a fixed type, if you remember the case of the channel assignment techniques, then in that technique we also discuss about the fixed channel assignment and dynamic channel assignment technique. So in case of fixed channel assignment, what happens is some set of channels are reserved for particular user, and if that user is free, then even this set of channels are not allotted to other users. So in that case, call rejection is possibility increases, and because of that the possibility of call blockage also increases in case of fixed channel assignment. Same way here, in case of multiple access protocol, here also the fixed, in case of fixed channel, number of channels are fixed. The other user cannot use that number of channels if it is free. While in case of dynamic channel assignment, if the channel is free, then other user can easily access that. So it is not a predetermined type access protocol, while we can say that fixed channel or fixed access protocol is a predetermined type access protocol. Now, multiple access technique is ability to access simultaneously along with its data and voice. Means we can access the simultaneous channels with its data content as well as voice content in the same group of channels. So basic techniques are CDMA, code division multiple access, FDMA, frequency division multiple access, and last TDMA means time division multiple access technique. These are the basic techniques. There is also another technique, that is OFDM, orthogonal frequency division multiplexing. That is more advantageous compared to these three techniques that we see later on. Now let's first discuss about the diagram of various multiple access technique. So this is the diagram of FDMA, TDMA and CDMA. Here first let me discuss about the frequency division multiple access. So here you can see that the axes are divided into frequency, time and in a code term. So here if you see the first diagram, this diagram, then you can easily say that the complete band is divided into this on this axis, on this y axis, and on y axis we named it as a frequency. So we can say that the complete band is divided into the different band of frequency, like band 1, band 2 up to band n. So it is there are different frequency band in case of FDMA. While in case of TDMA, if you see this second figure, then you can say that in this case frequency, time, again frequency and time division is there, but the whole period is divided into the number of time slots. So here you can see that this on x-axis the division is possible, means it is divided into the number of time slots on x-axis. So time slot 1 to time slot n is there, means here in case of TDMA instead of frequency band we create the time slots, while in the third one CDMA, code division multiple access, we can say that in case of code division multiple access, frequency as well as time is divided and create one PN sequence that is called as a pseudo random sequence. In that case we will discuss in detail that in CDMA case the narrow band signal is multiplied with the pseudo random sequence and create one large bandwidth signal. So this is the concept of code division multiple access, that it creates code and that code is called as a pseudo random sequence, means PN sequence. So let me first discuss about the FDMA in detail. FDMA, as I said, full form is frequency division multiple access. Here as we discussed in the last slide that the frequency bands are divided into available number of channels, means band of frequency is divided from band 1 to band n. Like if we said that it is a band of suppose 1000 megahertz, then 1 to 20 megahertz, 20 to 40 megahertz, then 40 to 60 megahertz, so on, we can divide it into number of band of frequency. Now FDMA is a type of access technique when if channel is not used then it will be idle but not assigned to other users, means if the channel is free then also it is not allotted to other users, means other user who required that particular band of channel cannot use that particular channel which is allotted to some other user. So in that case we can say that resource wastage is possible because one user does not require that particular channel but keep it with it, and the other user who requires that particular channel but cannot borrow that channel from the other user. So in that case we can say that that particular channel is wasted. So it is called as a resource wastage in case of FDMA. It needs filtering because in case of FDMA band of frequency is divided. If we there are chances of noise in between the band of frequency, so we need filtering to remove that noise. Here to remove that noise we can do filtering or we can add the guard band of frequency in between them. Like if 20 to 40 megahertz is allotted, then for example 40 to 41 megahertz is allotted to guard band, and then onwards from 41 to 61 the other band of frequency, and then again 1 megahertz for guard period. So this is how one can filter that channel access technique. Here complexity is less because as we see that complete band is divided into the number of band, and if that particular user is idle also, then also they keep that particular channel. So we can say that complexity is less. Also the synchronization is not necessary because every time we do not need to alter the channels or assign them to different users. It is a fixed type of assignment, so we need not worry about the channel assignment for every possible instant. So we can say that in case of FDMA, complexity is less and even synchronization is also necessary, not necessary. Now FDMA is a continuous transmission method, so few bits are required for overhead purpose for that. Next is non-linear effect of FDMA. So as we discussed that in the multiplexing, same antenna is used at the base station in case of FDMA. Different bands of frequency are used, but for that the same antennas are assigned to the base station. Base station is a fixed station that is allotted to the cellular communication system. Here maximum power possible to increase the efficiency of non-linear. Now what does it mean? Because same antenna is used, so it is required to allot the maximum power so that that particular signal cannot drop. And for that, if we assign the maximum possible power to the base station, then we can say that increased efficiency in that particular base station increases the chances of non-linearity, and because of that non-linearity, spreading of signals increases in frequency domain. Why in frequency domain? Because FDMA shared the particular channel into different band of frequency. That's why non-linearity occurs at a frequency domain because of spreading of signals. And because of that non-linearity, one intermodulation is created, and it is always not desirable to create the intermodulate frequency. If you know about the communication, that IM3 level should be as minimum as possible. So here intermodulation is created, and because of that adjacent channel interference can produce, and it is result in a spectrum spreading. We discuss about the spectrum spreading in detail in unit number 5. What is spread spectrum? It is related with spectrum spreading. So in short, because of the large number of power, non-linearity increases because more power is required, and because of that non-linearity, the spreading of signals in frequency domain increases, and because of that IM intermodulation increases, and that create the adjacent channel interference. So this is the non-linear effect of FDMA, and always we try to minimize the intermodulation. Now, what are the number of channels in FDMA? How many channels are assigned to it? So for that we can say that number of channels is equal to BT minus 2 times guard band divided by BC. Total number of channels here, that should be number of channels is equal to BT minus 2 times guard band divided by BC, where BT is total spectrum allotted, B guard is the guard band allotted, and BC means channel bandwidth. So using this formula, one can easily find out the number of channels in FDMA. Based on that, let's see one example. If a cellular system operator is located at 10 MHz for simplex band, and if BT is 10 MHz, B guard is 10 kHz, and BC is 30 kHz, find the number of available channels in FDMA. So for number of available channels, formula is this: BT minus 2 times guard band upon BC. We have the value of BT, that is 10 MHz, means 10 into 10 raised to 6 because megahertz. So 10 into 10 raised to 6, that we put over here. 10 into 10 raised to 6 over here, BT minus 2 times guard band means 10 into 10 raised to 3. B guard is 10 into 10 raised to 3, and BC means 30 kHz. It is over here 30 into 10 raised to 3. So if we put all the values over here, then the answer will be 332.66. So this number of channels are required for the cellular system operator, but the channel should be in an integer number. That's why we take over here 333 number of channels. So that is this is the case of FDMA. In the next session, we will discuss about the time division multiple access technique. If you have any doubt regarding the frequency division multiple access, then message me on my WhatsApp number. Thank you for watching.